All right, guys, so we are ready to learn about our last tribe. There's more, but the big tribes, right, of the Texas Native Americans. So I need you to go ahead, draw this graphic organizer, and pause the video, get it all done, and then I'll read about it to you, and we'll take some notes together. All right. It says, the Lipan Apache. The Lipan Apache arrived in the Southwest more than 600 years ago. They were also nomads whose culture depended on buffalo. Dressed in hides and dwelling in hide tents, they followed the herds in family groups. Dogs carried their belongings until the arrival of horses. The Lipan Apache quickly became expert riders. Pueblo Indians and the Spanish feared the raids of Lipan Apache warriors on horseback. Ooh, so they must have been good warriors also. So, let's go ahead, let's see. They were nomads, so let's write that. Ooh, can't spell today. Nomads. Remember, that means that they roamed. They did not stay in one place. They depended on buffalo, so I'm going to put that up on their food. Not only for food, but it was also for their housing. They lived in buffalo tents. So I'm assuming kind of like a teepee, but maybe more in the tent shape. They were great horseback riders. So they were great on horses. And they probably had to be in order to catch the buffalo. And they were feared, I like that word, feared warriors. All right. Over time, groups of Lipan Apache began to farm. They returned twice a year to their fields to plant or to harvest. This made them easy targets for their enemy, the Comanche. The stronger and better armed Comanche pushed the Lipan Apache south and west to the West Texas plains. There they fought with the Spanish and later Mexicans and Americans. By the early 1900s, most of the surviving Lipan Apache lived on the Mescalero Apache Reservation. Today, Lipan Apache continue to live in Texas. Okay, so later they farmed. It didn't say what, but I am going to assume it's probably the same corn, squash, and beans. Okay, probably about the same thing. That was probably what was available. They were pushed. Where did it say they were pushed? They were pushed south and west, so they were pushed to West Texas by the Comanche. Okay, and we know they're somewhere in the west. Let's look back at our map to figure out that region, okay? I like this map they give us in the front of this. So right here. All right, so here we have the Humano. They're literally almost in Mexico. They're on the border right here of the Rio Grande River between Texas and Mexico, because right here is Mexico. Then we have the Comanche that are through this region right here, and then you have the Apache in between. So the Comanche, as they moved down from the north, they started pushing the Apache even farther over here into West Texas, okay? So they're in the orange part, which is considered the Great Plains. The Great Plains still. So, let me zoom back out. So for their region of Texas, we're going to write Great Plains. And they moved further west. Okay, So probably closer, as the Comanche came down, they started moving closer and closer to that mountain and basins region of Texas. And every time they probably went back to these Great Plains to farm, they were being attacked by the Comanche. So that made their life even harder. So not too much about the Apache. Let's see if this other little book I have has something about them, okay? And it's always good when you're researching about different things to use more than one resource. And I'm not using the internet with you guys because I know you have the internet to look things up. I am showing you some resources that I have here to research, okay? And this is a book. It's called My Texas. And this gentleman right here, Matt Kasich, I taught with him in Mansfield. When I taught in Mansfield, he was my partner teacher. And he wrote this book. He publishes and writes. He's an author. So it's pretty cool. All right, so Apache. The Apache farmed for part of the year, and then after the crops came in, would move into a nomadic lifestyle and hunt and gather. Okay, so they were gatherers too. After horses were introduced to the Apache, they stopped being farmers and relied solely on hunting buffalo. The Apache were pushed south and southwest by the Comanche, resulting in two separate groups. Oh, look, okay. So it's the Mescalero Apache and the Lipan Apache. So it actually divided their tribe. That's sad. Okay, so it divided their tribe into two different groups when that happened. All right, but nothing new. We knew that already, right? Okay.